Janet Jackson opens up herself to her on her own terms, and yeah, on her
That's
own
right,
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Gaston. I agree. Yeah, I agree,
Yeah, I
Gaston.
did like when she said instead of someone telling her story like they do so many other people, she wanted to let it be known herself.
Hey everyone, my name is Gadget Trish, and you are watching the I Love the Jackson Family YouTube channel. And today I'm finally doing my review of Janet Jackson's documentary and the key to her success. Get it? Key, because she wears a key in her earring. Whatever. So before I move forward, I just wanted to thank everybody who did the 2-night watch party with us. It was very unplanned. Everything came together at the last minute. So please make sure you check out the people's YouTube channels that helped me make that watch party possible. And most important, if you haven't seen the documentary yet, please stop. Head over to either Lifetime, A&E, the iTunes Store, or Amazon to check it out. It's a 4-part series, and then come back and check out this review. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I took a whole bunch of notes. Like, if I showed you my notes, you would have been like, is this a college paper? I've saw this documentary about 4 times. It's too much to break down. So I thought I would just highlight what stood out to me and what makes Janet Jackson the amazing icon that she is, why I see her as a blueprint to not even like female artists, but just to like women in general. You know, like she's constantly reinventing herself. She's constantly breaking barriers. And she does this with a smile no matter what. The first part is actually really more like a historic look into like her life and the Jacksons started their career. I love how she finally goes to Gary, Indiana, and she's telling the producer, she gets choked up to why she's doing this because she sees a mural of her brothers. And I've gone to Gary twice. Very recently, a few months ago, I personally get inspired by where they come from. You know, like I've always dreamed about being able to take care of my family and live a better life than I'm living now. And every time I go to the Jackson family, I'm like, if 9 children and 2 adults can make this happen from this little tiny house, then you could do it. And so that's why I'm inspired by the Jacksons' legacy, because it wasn't easy what they did. They put in a lot of hard work. They were very disciplined. They're still very disciplined. And, you know, they paid their dues. And they did this during an era where it was like during the civil rights movement, and as cultures were finally starting to infuse together. And Joe had this vision to say, you know what? People are starting to dance together and do things together. Why not have my children's music, my family's music, be part of the change of the culture? And so, you know, Janet, you know, recalls some of her childhood with the help of her brother Randy. You know, Michael and Randy are the closest to each other. They're also the closest in age. Janet's the 9th child, Randy's the 8th, Michael's the 7th. And, you know, they would just help each other, just be through like the rehearsals and, you know, push through like stage fright and just give advice and encouragement to each other. And, you know, Joe had this vision to get his family out of Gary, Indiana. It wasn't the best place to raise kids. And he was like, I want more for my family. And, you know, yes, Joe was strict, and sometimes, you know, things weren't done. You know, like Janet said, she wished she had a better relationship with her dad, but she recognizes that his vision's the reason why they get out of Gary. So you fast forward some time, the Jacksons finally go from Gary into California. And I'm thinking, oh, it must be nice. They're going from Gary to beautiful California where it's sunny all the time. But unfortunately, they weren't welcomed. Janet has this friend by the name of Wendy Watts. And Wendy recalls they were trying to petition the Jacksons out of there. The Jackson family might be the first black family in that area. And Janet just said she never felt like she belonged. And, she felt comfort and friendships with her siblings. The Jacksons brothers eventually fired Joe. And Joe decides to put all his energy mainly into Janet, trying to make her a superstar. And by doing that, whether it was intentional or not, he oversteps. He doesn't listen to what she has to say. She doesn't have direction to the title of her album. She doesn't have direction to what she sings. She doesn't have direction to the cover art. She doesn't want to do Fame, which is an acting gig she had. And she just got tired of the control. And so there was two ways she got out of her father's control. One, she had a secret marriage to this guy named James. And two, eventually she ends up firing Joe. And you could tell throughout this documentary, her heart's heavy. It's heavy about her first real love to James and how it failed and why it failed. And you can tell it hurt her to have to fire her father. But Janet, and I got to give her credit for this, she does take control of her career. By the time Control comes out, it's her third album. And she's like, oh no, we're not trying to fail for the third time. She picks her choreographers, she picks her producers, she has a vision, and she has people around her that helps elevate her career. I just find this story to be just so inspiring. So I'm not going to break down every little part of the documentary, but I will say this. Janet never had it easy. She shared in the documentary 3 failed relationships. And what I loved about her recollection of her relationships, she always started with the good. Because most of the time when you're in a relationship with somebody, it does start off good. Sometimes people make this bad mistake, just focus on the bad. No, life is usually bittersweet, and it's what you do with it is on you. There's a quote from her documentary that I just wanted to share. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of work, and either you can handle it or you can't. It does affect you, and what you do with it really is important. So let's put this in the context of your own life. For example, 2020, a lot of us didn't have control. There are things that got set back. Even Janet Jackson had a setback from the 2020 era. I don't know if you guys recall, in Madison Square Garden, there was advertisements for the Black Diamond Tour. 2020 shut that down. And a lot of us had a lot of things that shut down in 2020 and things that are still affecting us today, like people passing away, losing jobs, uncertainty. It's how you react to it that will take you either to the highest or the lowest point of your life. And so, don't be a victim of your circumstance. That's the one thing I loved about her documentary. I think she says that in the 4th part of it. She never felt victim to this. She never felt like, oh, woe is me, look at me. She pushed you that. During Nipplegate, remember Nipplegate from the Super Bowl? Because she talks about that too. People try to ban her music, wouldn't play her stuff. Sometimes the allegations with Michael was affecting deals for her and opportunities for her, but she never felt victim to it. She was just like, I'm going to rock with the people that want to rock with me. I'm going to sit at the table, the people that want me at that table. And what I love about her is she just kept it moving. And eventually, she breaks through the barriers. She breaks through the problems and the issues that happen to whatever the issue was, whether it be a bad relationship or nipplegate or, whatever. And so I hope when you see this that you are inspired by her life. Push through your own pain. Be the best you that you can be. And don't be a victim of your circumstance. I know for me personally, it is a pity party sometimes. Moving forward, I don't want to have a pity party for myself. I want to push through this. I want to be the best version of me. And so this is the ultimate thank you video to her father and what he's done for her. Even though not everything can be resolved in a pretty bow, like you could tell that she longed to have the type of closeness to Michael that she used to have in Gary/early days of California. And unfortunately, it never happened because Michael passed away. Janet, thank you for sharing your life with us. Some of it got messy and I appreciated that. And that means some things she didn't speak on. For example, she doesn't talk about her current husband, for whatever reason. Again, respect her boundaries. She doesn't have to tell you everything about her life. This is her truth, as she would say. But she told you enough. Now, there's a big hint in here. A quote from the very end of the documentary. And I hope you guys picked up on it. Because even in the watch party, we were like, wait a minute. Janet's clearly about to make a big move. It's been a beautiful ride, and it's still a wonderful ride. I've been thinking about the future, and I want to concentrate on being a mother. I want to go out with a bang, a nice bang, a big bang. So that means, guys, if she decides to do a tour, this could be the last tour. Janet Jackson, Janet Demita Joe Jackson, if I could ever interview you, girl, please. And while we're at it, shout out to Randy. I had no idea that was her manager. I always wanted to meet you. Oh, let me show you. This was gifted to me because my friends know how much I love these people. It's Janet and Randy. I had no idea they were so close to this level that that's actually one of her managers. But I find that so cool that he's now managing her, because that's her way of recognizing that the protection that her dad gave her when he was managing her, she probably finds that type of safety and love with her brother Randy. So it's coming full circle, the importance of family. With that being said, guys, check out this documentary. It is absolutely a must-see. You're going to see some amazing rare footage. You're going to get the tea from Janet herself. And whatever she is not spilling, that's all right too. All right, I am out on that note. Make sure you guys check out my recent collaboration with MJ Fangirl. We just did a reaction to Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson Scream. Make sure you check out the watch parties. And actually this Sunday we have Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. So make sure you stream her music all day long and just get to learn the Jackson family. Every one of them. These are 9 amazing, gifted people. Celebrate them individually and celebrate them as a family. And with that being said, Gadgetricious out. Bye. Bye.